Okay, I guess we'll do a few TFOs here and make the world happy. Good morning, world.
And FYI, when they do those things, Zaya, like when they brought out the Discovery character, they didn't give them a thing like that where you got the, like when I did my Delta Recruit one, there was a thing like the Dominion transponder for Delta Recruits, and same thing with the Dominion transponder for the Jumper. When they brought out the Discovery characters, they didn't do that. They didn't give one of those things. They gave them bonuses as they came up. But when they bring the next one around, whatever it might be, if you're dealing in DOFs, that's when you're going to make a shitload of money on DOFs, because when they bring out one of those, because of all the bonus stuff you get with those transponders and stuff, people always make new characters. I mean, the prices were up when Discovery came out as well, but not as much as when they have one of those transponders attached to it. Even the same with any of those commodities that you need to complete mission chains and stuff like that. Those and DOFs, anytime they roll out a new type of character you can make, prices are going to go up. So if you deal in that, that's when you're going to make some good money.
Back in a minute, guys.
A little slow this morning. Here we go. All right, infected.
I'm back.
I can't target. Not letting me get speed at one.
delay this one. Come on.
Well, I got rid of something, but not a lot. I noticed that the what was that again?
Come on. What are we not firing for?
Temporal command has a whole bunch of them, which are not, hasn't even got anything in them.
Yeah, well, and you're going to see the same thing with expeditionary and temporal a lot of the time because we're almost maxed out.
We're almost maxed out.
Well, because yeah, we're like we've got max level on everything but the starbase and the colony. So I mean, we'll still run stuff in the other ones, but they're just provisioning ones to put more provisions in there, and we don't even need more provisions, but we just put them in there so people have something to donate to. But for expeditionary and temporal, the dilithium mine, the embassy, K-13 research lab, Spire, they're all maxed out already. So it's only the colony and the starbase we're actively working on.
Why am I delayed when I should not be? Gotta love this. I'm just gonna sit there because we're in a loop. Oh, come on. Unbelievable. See, this is why this game has so many bugs.
Your defensive capabilities
Can't
are
even
able to withstand us. Lower your shields and await assimilation.
Shame, shame, shame. Wow. Jumping around. Bad service. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes.
Looks like the temporal command doesn't have all that much open. There, sorry, the Aegis command, not temporal command.
Got bits and pieces.
Yeah, I wanted to get the uniform from the
Moonhead85, just started this game, I feel lost lol.
The trailer.
It can be a little bit confusing to get started. Have you found yourself a fleet yet?
Oh, I'm in the fleet thing. I'm in the.
Oh,
He's
I'm
talking
sorry.
to somebody.
I'm sorry. I'm screaming. Sorry.
Yeah, he's talking to somebody in Twitch.
Yeah, I don't need to hit the control button. I just did because I don't know. I'm spacing it. Yeah, did you find yourself a fleet yet? Because a fleet will really help you out. You can ask questions from everybody in the fleet. They have what we call Amada channels, and you can get help. Oh, what am I doing here? Did you get that Moonhead? Must have lost him. I must have lost him.
Oh no.
Last TFO was acting really weird. Looks like Bag's bad today. Or at least bad on that one server.
How so?
Yeah, ship was just sitting there, wouldn't move. Nothing wrong with it, just wouldn't move. And then all of a sudden it just jumped.
Ow.
Obviously a laggy server.
Hmm.
But there may be more people than normal online too. You can never, the queues are taking a little longer, so.
Yeah. Or a Christmas event and everything.
Yes.
Oof. That was a close one. I'm on my Vulcan tournament, my new one. Just fought that Undine ship that you get on diplomatic orders mission. I managed to survive and kill it without dying with like 7% health left.
As long as you survive.
Yeah, that was a close one. Still,
A win is a win.
Yes, it's very true. Yep. Considering, bear in mind, the first time on my first account when I did this mission, I died like 3 times. So my skill level has definitely improved dramatically, I would say.
I like
Based
the
on that
ones where they
comparison.
throw you inside the middle of an onslaught and expect you to survive.
Yeah, good luck. Nice knowing you.
We are under attack by mere.
Now this one's normally just buggy. Counterpoint, there's usually just weird things that happen in this one.
Oh.
Yes, there is. It's one of the few I consistently die in, and for no particular reason. I'm doing fine, and all of a sudden I'm just dead.
Right, just instant death sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, those instant deaths are horrible. One minute you find it. Boom! Gone. And then you sit there thinking to yourself, well, what the hell happened there?
And it may just be lag. All of a sudden it catches up.
Yep, could be, yep.
Instead of taking damage as you go, it all of a sudden zaps you all with all of it all at once.
Yep.
Thank you. We were taken by complete surprise.
But that's just a guess on my part. But it does happen a lot in this one.
Sounds about right.
If you fly normally and then all of a sudden, you know, even in like normal battles, you know, when you're leveling up, sometimes you can get hit by stuff the same way. You don't have a clue on what hit you and where it hit you from.
Whoops, game crash. Good old DX11.
Well, your game just crashed.
Yep, bad DX11 call. I can probably get back in before the TFO's over, though.
Hasn't DX12 been out for like 100 years?
Yeah, you can't really expect Cryptic, though, to do that. But yeah, it was a bad call, so it's just bad programming. And that's usually what happens when it crashes. It's a bad, well, what it tells me, it says bad DX11 call. So it's just programming errors.
Yeah. Go back in a minute.
No, you're not allowed to leave us, Kenny. You're banned.
But I have the luxury of having an M2 SSD, so I can roll those back in and I'm in already. Yeah.
Ship is under attack.
Everybody and their brothers put track teams on me.
Who?
You.
Me? Think wasn't one life over what?
Keep the most dexterous.
No, I want to try and keep up. Huh?
Cool. Very cool.
That's if I get one of those vape things that also help.
They're breaking off.
Zyra
We have them on the...
proofs.
Wait.
You know, the vape things, the problem is with the vape things is that you can get addicted to them.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, it probably is doing harm to your body, but in a different way to what the cigarette.
Well, that's the entire reason the vape things work, is you're not giving up your addiction. You're just switching it from cigarettes to vaping. That's why it works.
But it's not harming your body as much as what the cigarette would.
No, not even close. Yeah, but it's one that isn't going to harm you like smoking, and it costs a tenth of what smoking costs.
It isn't improved.
But yours, you have one, don't you, Kathy?
Yeah, I still do. No, I still smoke though, because for some reason smoking helps with my diabetes symptoms.
Ah.
But it's the only reason I still smoke. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy to just vape. But like I said, the cigarettes help with my diabetes symptoms.
Now, the one that you have, the vape thing, is that one of the ones that leaves a massive, great big mist cloud in front of you?
Well, that depends on a couple things. It can, but that depends partially on the fluid you get as well. So there's different mixes. So basically, your vape fluid, your main two ingredients are polypropyl glycerine and polypropyl. I can't remember the second word. And vegetable glycerine. The polypropyl is what gives you the hit that makes it feel like a cigarette when you inhale. The vegetable glycerine is what makes the big clouds.
Yeah.
So you can get people that aren't making big clouds that still get a pretty good hit. But if you get more so you can get different mixes. So any place that, like the place I order from online, I can customize my mix. So I can go 100% polypropyl, or I can go 75, 25, 50, 50, 25, 75, or 100% vegetable glycerine. So depending on my mix, you can make bigger clouds, but you're going to get less of a hit when you inhale it.
Which means you'd be token on it a lot more. Like,
well, yes and no. That's going to depend more on the nicotine content, which is a whole different thing.
Yeah, which is good nicotine, not a bad.
Well, see, I mean, I had quit for smoking for 7 months, and I was just vaping. And I actually got to the point I had no nicotine in my food. I was just still vaping because I've been smoking for over 30 years. It's just the habit. It's the having something in my hand, inhaling and exhaling. It's the habit I am addicted to more than the nicotine itself. So for me, I had completely got off nicotine, but that's when I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And I finally put it together in my head that I've had these symptoms in the past.
Comes from lag.
And when I start smoking, it goes away. And that's actually after 7 months. And I was like so sick, I thought I was on death's door sick. And I said, I wonder what'll happen if I start smoking. And within a week, I felt great.
Wow.
But you only smoke a few cigarettes a day.
No, if I have cigarettes, I smoke just like I would normally smoke. But I just go on and off with them. That's all.
Face the wrath of the Terran Empire.
So I get my cigarettes off the reserve. So I pay $40 basically for a carton. So I'll buy a carton and I'll smoke it until it's gone, and then I'll vape for a while. And when I notice my diabetes symptoms bugging me more, I'll pick some up again.
Yeah, because I know there's places where...
Yeah, come on.
I don't know if you can do that in America. Where instead of going to a carton, you can actually go and pick up a bag which is full of cigarettes.
Well, and that's what, I kept mine in a bag because they come off the reserve.
Yeah.
technically it's not legal though, because I'm avoiding the tax man. And, you know, I am the tax man because that's where I work when I'm working.
You face the wrath of the Terran Empire.
Do you know how to
Oh,
bend the
come
rules,
on
basically?
now.
Well, it is what
Enough
it is.
with the
Right?
mud.
You can
It's like, I mean, it's not like for the guys the government's worried about are the guys that are actually selling those and making money off them. They're not going to go after some guy who buys a bag once in a while. It's like,
see, this is
it's like speeding, right?
sad.
I mean, everybody speeds sometimes. Well, some people don't, I guess. But you know, it's one of those crimes. It's not really a crime. You know what I mean?
It's there, but they turn a blind eye. So it's not really good.
Well, yeah. It's you know, 20 years ago, I used to help run a wares distribution group. We did not make any money off of it. We just distributed stuff to share stuff, just like, you know. And I don't know about now because I've been out of the scene for a long time, but back then, the people that the government really went after was the people who were trying to sell pirated goods and make money off of it. That's the people that.
You know, she could shut up
with
anytime.
you know, with your taxes, you can bend the rules within a certain extent. You can't bend the rules and bend it all out of shape. You can only go within what the law will actually allow.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just like anything, right? Like, you know, jaywalking. I don't know about it over there, but jaywalking in most parts of the civilized world is not technically legal, and you can get a ticket for it, right? But how many people have ever gotten a jaywalking ticket? However, if there's somebody who blatantly did it all the time and went out of their way to stop traffic, and they always did it, I'm sure, and they always did it in the same places because they always lived in the same places, I'm sure people would be complaining and the cops may take notice, right?
I mean, over here, jaywalking is like
It's very rare. You don't normally see it, to be honest.
yeah, but you do see people
Anybody
in my
gonna,
town. You will
go
see
get some
people,
people?
even when buses are coming along, and people will just walk right across the road in front of the buses.
I
And
would
the
have thought
buses don't
somebody
even
would
slow
have
down.
taken the people. They must not know you can
That's
do
the
that.
worst thing. You get somebody drop something and pick something up, and so like they're walking beside someone that they're not really watching. They're just following the people crossing the road. And somebody drops something, goes to pick it up. Next thing you know, they get walloped by the bus.
Christ.
You know. But that's the bus drivers. The bus drivers, half the time they're not paying attention on what's in front of them. They're literally looking in their mirrors to make sure there's not anything going to come beside them. They pull out.
Well, it's also like because if they do that, they can also put something by the side of them that can easily go under the wheels. That's more why they do it as well.
Yeah. You know, but when they're pulling out into the main line of traffic, you know,
Yeah, they're looking to the side, they're not looking in front of them because they need to look to the side to make sure they're not going to clobber a car that comes past.
yeah, but they only need to do like a quick glance and then back to the road again. You know, like what most people would do when they're driving. You know, they.
I suppose it's much bigger vehicle, so I would say it makes sense to look for longer because you've got to allow much more time to get out because of the size of your vehicle and how quickly it gets going. Because buses don't pull out as quick as a car can.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when the buses are moving, when they start moving and they're continuously moving whilst they're looking, and they're not looking forwards. What's in front of them? I've seen buses drive right into the back of cars. And the bus driver says, "Why did you stop there?" And the guy's like saying, "There was traffic." I said, "There is no traffic." And then the guy turns around because it's fucking gold now.
Maybe we'll get her.
You know,
I'm going to grab coffee.
All right. Okay. Then now the traffic is behind the bus because of him hitting the car. Because he was so busy in his mirror.
Doing a ground one.
He pulled away and he put his, you know, you like when you push your foot to get up to speed.
Yeah.
He's pulled out, and as he's pulled out, all the traffic has stopped. He's still looking in his mirror. You know, he's not glancing at the road in front of him. He's actually like physically staring at his mirror. And the car's on the other side. When the bus hit, the guy said, you know, I'll be a witness to the bus hit you. You know, and saying that the bus driver was completely not even looking. The bus driver was like, you know, some bus drivers don't even use their mirrors. They'll stick their head out the window, and they'll like look back as they're as the driver pulls. So now they've got no vision to what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, and whilst they're reversing, you should always have. I've noticed a lot of those buses when they reverse out of the depots. A lot of the times they'll have somebody behind them, and then there's the odd one where, you know, he'll slip past the guy. Somehow he slips past him, and he reverses out into flowing traffic. And if you've ever stood at the front of a bus looking backwards, when you look back, you've only got that tiny little window at the back.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of buses don't have cameras on the back of them either. You know, so as they're reversing out, they're just doing it off of their pure sight, you know, by checking the two side mirrors. If somebody is directly straight behind them, you ain't going to see them. It's like a truck. You know, trucks have got, their blind spot is the back of their trailer. The same as a bus. You know, the little mirrors that they have inside are not for looking out the back window. They're for looking up in the aisle to see if anything, you know, if anyone's standing. You know, on a lot of buses, it's actually illegal to be standing on a bus. But the problem is that buses get so overcrowded because those handrails that you see, you know, the ones that you can grab as you're moving through the bus, that's basically what they're for.
Yeah.
And then you have people that are standing up. And I remember I did it once, and the bus driver looked over at me and said, "Go and sit down." I said, "Well, there is nowhere to sit. Because upstairs was full, downstairs was full." So basically I was leaning against the rack where people would throw their bags and, you know, shopping and stuff. Or baby carts or all that stuff. I was leaning against that. And there was somebody else beside me doing exactly the same thing. And there was a guy standing on the stairs as well. You know, because there just wasn't enough seats. Yeah. But it's like anything, you know, if you're... it's like in cars. A lot of people won't wear seatbelts.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my.
You know, they won't wear their seatbelts. They'll get into a car and they'll drive off. You know what's going? You know, so they don't wear seatbelts. And then you have other people that do wear them, but then you do have the other percentage of people which are just too big to wear a seatbelt. You know, you get something that's like over 30 stone driving a car, you know, he ain't going to be able to go and put that seatbelt on. It ain't going to fit. It's going to crush his stomach, and, you know, it's going to pin him to the seat, so he's not going to move. But because they're so big, they can't click the actual seatbelt into the little clicker.
Yeah. Not good. Not good at
These
all.
guys know what they're doing.
I find the worst seatbelts in a car, the old way they used to do it, the old way they had the lap belt. It was just, it just went across your lap. So if you hit something, that guy that's sitting in the middle is going to have all his intestines and the lower part of his stomach all crushed.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Because the top half of the body is free to move.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, you just fold as you hit something. But now they've got like the seatbelt that now comes across you. The only problem is it comes directly straight from the roof. So if you hit something hard enough, or something hits you hard enough from behind, it bends all the roof up. So now the seatbelt's not going to work at all.
I'm waiting for things to
You know, and
spawn
then you have
here
some
because
cars
they
where the
will.
seatbelt is attached to the actual
Can't believe
seat
they haven't.
itself. You know, you get sideswiped or something like that, or you get hit, and the seat breaks its mountings. You know, you're going wherever the seat's going.
May not
Yeah.
spawn. How about that?
You know, you don't have a choice.
Very true.
You know, but I do like the way they do some of the convertible ones. They have it where the seatbelt actually goes in where the original one would go, but it's just at a lower position. So when it goes over your shoulder, it goes over and it goes straight into the. Goes over as like a funny thing on the seat,
Sit there and make us wait that
which
long.
it goes
Just
through and then
cruel.
goes in and then goes down by the. Down by the, you know, like in most cars, you see the seatbelt goes up to the side.
Yeah.
You get in and it's attached just up above the door thing. Well, that's only the thing for holding the seatbelt. The actual thing for the seatbelt is actually right down by the bottom of the door, in between the back and front door. And when you have the ones in the back, they're the same thing. They're just connected down. They go down behind the seat, and they connect to a thing that's connected to the side panel of the car. You know, but I do like the ones where, what is it? There's some cars where they'll have the holster thing. It's a permanent. The seatbelt's in it permanently.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, and it has like a retractable thing that pulls the seatbelt back.
Oh right.
On the door. It's like it's connected on the inside part of the door. Not on the door, but it's in just above where the door shuts. And when you shut the door, it automatically goes back, and it locks itself into place. So now it'll lock itself into place, but the seatbelt can still move until, you know, obviously you brake really hard, and then the system will like latch hard. So it's still going down the side of the door, but you don't actually have to physically click it in. You know, it's already there. You know, there's some American cars had it, and I think some of the S13s and S14s had it, where it was like a law thing to where the seatbelts had to be, you know, sort of like in. The cars were made like it, so people couldn't, you know, the only way you would decide not to wear a seatbelt is by cutting the thing and then just cutting it. You know, but then you'd have to explain to a policeman why it's cut, and you get pulled over.
That's the thing, yeah.
It's like you go back 30 years ago, there was never even a thing of a seatbelt in the back of a car.
Sure there was. What are you talking about?
No, over here, in America there probably was. What I mean is it wasn't necessary to have a seatbelt in the back of a car. Back then the law didn't say that you have to have one. You know, people had them put in, you know, for the safety of their kids. But when you bought a car back then, that was like it was like an extra if you wanted the seatbelts in the back.
Cool.
Yeah, it wasn't that much, you know, about a couple of £100 to have the seatbelts put in there. You know, but back then, when I lived in Ireland, a couple of the cars my dad had, they didn't even have anything in the back. No seatbelts or nothing. You know, but then again, back then, Ireland had, excuse me, you could drive a car in Ireland and not even have a license, and you wouldn't even get done for it. But now, you know, they can arrest you for it now, because the law is actually put it in now that you have to have a license to drive.
Yeah.
They were just behind the times. It was like, basically like when cars first come around.
Right.
when cars were first manufactured, nobody had a license. Nobody knew how to drive. They just got in and eventually they learned how to do it.
Goodness me.
And then over the years, they, you know, at a certain point in time, they suddenly decided, you know, well, you know, back then there was I mean, when first the cars come out, that's probably when a lot of accidents, probably when the most accidents would have happened because nobody's experienced at driving. Everybody's jumping, everyone's buying a car, everyone's buying, they're jumping into the car, they're driving it away, they're getting about halfway down the road, all of a sudden they drive straight into the back of another car. Yeah, because they have no recollection of distance and braking distances or anything.
Not even recollection, it's perception,
this
isn't
isn't
it?
bad when everybody knows what they're supposed to do.
It's like when you're in the car with your dad and the car in front hits his brakes. You see the lights come on.
Can be a pain if
That's
they
an
don't.
indication for the person behind to start touching the brakes.
Back up here, help.
You know, then you have like if there's nothing in front of you, you have like the markings on the road.
Yeah.
You know, will give you an indication. But then you learn over time of driving. You learn the distances from a certain speed. Stop. And they do that on the lesson things as well when you buy the book. Usually it used to be on the back of the book. I think it's like a page in the back, and it'll tell you for what speeds, how far you need to stop. You know how many distance. You know what the distance is to brake to come to a full stop from from different speeds.
Yeah.
Back then they didn't have that. You know, that's why a lot of people were crashing. Plus there was no insurance, no tax. A lot of the cars were some of the first cars they ever made that were electric.
Yeah.
But they didn't last. They weren't that good. So they changed over to the conventional fuel engines. You had steam cars back then as well. I think the steam engines were some of the first cars ever made. So they just ran on steam. But the cars weren't very fast. You know, something like what, about 13 miles an hour is probably as fast as you could go. Some of the first cars even slower than that and some. But it was the way the cars were made. The cars were made... some of the first cars were... most of the cars made back then were convertibles. They didn't have a roof. It was just... Some of them actually... if you think of like a horse and carriage, some of them had carriage wheels on them. Yeah, it was the only wheels that they had.
Yeah.
You know, then so they were putting them on them, and they were really thin and they were made out of wood. You know, so if you banged up into something hard, it would break the wheel. You know, plus all the body panels. Yeah. All the body panels on the cars were just made out of really thin metal. So if you did hit something, it just bent it. You know, it's not like today where, you know, if you're driving that, say, like if you move forwards at like 5 miles an hour and you bump into a car, it's basically you just bump into it. You know, the bumper takes most of the impact. It might crack it, but at least the body panels are not damaged or hit.
Yes, what it's designed for, isn't it? To take that hit.
Yeah. But even cars today, the metal's really thin, and then you now get cars that are made out of even lighter materials.
Well, yeah, 'cause it's designed to crumple, isn't it? So it
Well,
takes it rather than you.
Yeah, the front and the rear of the car are crumple zones. The bit where you sit in is like the shell is made a bit tougher.
Well, it's a Faraday's cage, isn't it, essentially?
Yeah. It's a little bit like the smart cars.
I've got to go. Talk to it.
But you know what I mean, Jackal, don't you, with the cars?
Here we go. Here we
How
go.
they're
I'm not really listening, man. The TFO.
Ah.
Run, run, run.
Now, I'll join you in the next one if you have room.
No, no parses. Whoops, turned around. Go, go, go. Kill them all. Okay, here we go. Two. One more guy to kill.
Okay, I'm back then. Hello.
Hello.
Someone asked me because they want some help with a friend's thing.
Are the Borg.
It's all good.
Gerard and his men.
Apparently, you're already in a team, Kenny.
Oh. Oh.
Well, that didn't take long to kill him.
Oh, it shouldn't be. Oh, set on team mode. Try it now.
Yeah, no, I'm getting no option to invite you to a team.
He broke it.
How could you?
I don't think I broke it. I don't know. Did that to me the other day. It took like a. I don't know.
Nice.
What it was? Just like the invite. I couldn't invite someone the other day. It kept doing the same thing.
Okay, I think we're probably. What do I need here? Curry. No curry. I believe that loaded it up. Okay, we're gonna call it quits for here. I think we've done enough damage today. So everybody have a good time. We're gonna stop the stream.
Is it doing anything now?
Nope. No option there to invite the team.